Hello scholars and welcome to chemistry class. Today we're going to be looking at empirical formula. Now at the end of this class you understand what empirical formula is and you also know how to solve a problem relating to empirical formula. Now the first thing we'll be looking at here is empirical formula. Now what is empirical formula? Empirical formula is the simplest possible formula given the ratio of atoms in the molecule of a compound. Now this is an example. We have an example here and we are going to solve it step by step. Okay, now the question here says a compound was found by analysis to contain 65.45% carbon, 9.09% hydrogen, and 25.45% nitrogen. Now the question here says calculate its empirical formula. Now, if you look at this question here down, they have already given us the relative atomic mass of each of the elements. For carbon, it's 12, for hydrogen, it's 1, and for nitrogen, it's 14. Okay, now we're going to solve it. Now, the first thing you need to do here, you need to pick out the percentages of each of the elements given in the compound. Now, for carbon, we have 65.45. For hydrogen, we have 9.09%, and for nitrogen, we have 25.45. Now, we'll pick them and solve it step by step. Okay? Now, for carbon is 65.45, okay? And the relative atomic mass is 12. For hydrogen, it is 9.09 and the relative atomic mass is 1. And for nitrogen it is 25.45 and relative atomic mass is 14. Okay, now after doing this, the next thing we need to do is arrange it in this order so it will be simplified when we're solving. Now, we bring down carbon, we bring down hydrogen, and we bring down nitrogen. Okay, now we say 65.45, then 65.45 divided by its relative atomic mass, which is 12. Okay? Then we do the same for hydrogen, which is 9.09 divided by 1. Then for nitrogen, we do the same, which is 25.45 divided by 14. Okay, now 65.45 divided by 12 would give us 5.45. 9.09 would give us 9.09, right? Now, 25.45 will give us 1.82. Okay, now after doing this, the next thing you need to do is you need to identify the least value, okay, in this tree, the least value. Now, by looking at it, we can identify that the least value here is 1.82. Now, we take this 1.82, we divide each of these values by 1.82, which means it becomes 5.45 divided by 1.82. 9.09 divided by 1.82 and 1.82 divided by itself. Okay, now if you punch your calculator, 5.45 divided by 1.82 would give us 3. 9.09 divided by 1.82 would give us 5. And this would give us 1. Now for carbon 3. Hydrogen 5. Nitrogen 1. Now this is how to calculate the empirical formula of a compound. I hope this teaching was simplified. Thank you for learning with us and see you in our next class.